It would seem that the life of animals is very monotonous and does not stand out in any bright way. But after watching this video, you'll see that this is not the case at all. We are lucky since random people from all around the world managed to capture the struggle for survival, for food, and for offspring in the wild. In addition, you will see a lot more. In the turmoil of their busy lives, there will always be a place for unexpected and sometimes even incredible moments that you will definitely be interested to see right now. Let's go! It looks like this moose thought that these light bulbs on the fence were some edible fruits, so it started eating them like nuts. In Florida, an alligator on the porch of a house is a common occurrence. The main thing here is to have a defender who can quickly scare off this toothy reptile. If your cow urgently wants to go to pasture, no obstacles will stop it. After watching this video, I laughed for a very long time. The owner made holes in the fence for the muzzle and eyes of his dogs, and it looks very funny. This fence is a real masterpiece. These pets look like real heroes. Near the island of Bali, a diver came across an incredibly rare sight of animals working together. The breathtaking footage shows how the crab carries a jellyfish on its back while using it as protection from predator attacks. Clever capuchin monkeys in Brazil quickly figured out how to crack hard nuts. To guess how to use a large stone, they definitely must have a high level of intelligence.
Mais 8 quero. Quebrou, quebrou. Dá pedaço aí, mano. Olha aí que incrível.
The hairless Argentine dog made me laugh for a very long time. It looks like Dante Dog from the Coco cartoon. This baby elephant was happily playing with its reflection when suddenly a large elephant standing next to it pushed it into a pool of water. Its mother and another female immediately rushed to its aid. The baby elephant was very quickly and successfully rescued from this pond. Now we have an incredible moment of arrogance. You can see a nest of storks in which there are 4 eggs. I'm sure that these storks were already going to sleep when suddenly an incredible thing happened. A strange female stork flies into their nest and falls. She just fell down and lies there, showing no signs of life. They could not drive it away for about 15 minutes, and during this time, this smart bird laid an egg in someone else's nest. Now you can see it, there are 5 eggs. I didn't even think storks could use cuckoo tactics. After noticing someone's paws under the ceiling of her balcony, this woman immediately realized what was happening. The raccoon family decided to make their own house there. The very next day, the mother raccoon brought all its babies there. It looked very unusual, but they did it. Living with such neighbors is a bit uncomfortable, but it's definitely not boring. This dog is very bored, so it has found an interesting new activity. It looks so funny. Delivering coffee by drone turned out to be not such a profitable thing after the crows began attacking the device. Smart birds have even learned to avoid drone blades and attack only from the side. There's nothing unusual here, just these ants decided to steal the SIM card. The woman decided to have a walk with her bulldog, but as you can see, the dog decided to urinate right on her pants. It's a good thing that the camera decided to capture such a thing. It's better not to joke with this dog. I'm sure that it can easily bite his hand off. This lynx was caught on a night surveillance camera. As you can see, it was not moving before attacking a large deer. The attack clearly did not work out, and the lynx hit the camera in a jump. To increase milk productivity, the owner decided that his cow should graze even at night. To do this, one just needs to hang a flashlight on their foreheads. Zoo visitors managed to film an elephant falling into the water from a fairly high altitude. I have never seen such a cannonball performed by an elephant. People from a car filmed a wild wolf chasing a cyclist on a forest road. They started honking, and that's the only way the wolf got scared and ran off into the woods. Flying on a zip line through a tropical forest in Costa Rica, the boy collided with a slow sloth on the cable. They definitely did not expect to see an animal on the rope, but it's good that neither the sloth nor the child were injured. They just had to wait for the animal to descend, and it took about 15 minutes. Parrots are very smart birds, and if they're properly trained, they can easily feed you chips while you're watching your favorite TV series. For the first time this spring, the protection of bird feeders from squirrels worked perfectly. The surprised squirrel falls, but after a few seconds, this thief figured out the whole system and immediately found itself on the feeder. It looks like starving woodpeckers in California have already started eating homes. At this rate, they will destroy the wall completely in a month. This is a sad moment caught on the street surveillance camera. The owner decided to get rid of his dog and just tied it to a pole in the middle of the street. No one paid attention to the poor dog for a long time until a girl with a black umbrella appeared. They found a common language with the dog very quickly, and when her friend came, they decided to untie the dog and take it with them. The leopard mom lost its baby, but wildlife staff rescued it, did all the necessary vaccinations, and left it in a box right in the field. The mother leopard couldn't get the baby out of it for a long time, but soon it succeeded, and it took the baby to a safe place. I don't know what this pigeon had to do to get stuck in the fence. It's clearly in shock, but it was quickly released from this trap. When the owner installed a brush with a motor on her farm for cows, she could not imagine how her pets would react to it. But now she knows for sure that her cows are much happier. This footage was filmed on the outskirts of South Shetland Islands. People on boats were admiring the beauty, but suddenly a sea leopard jumped out of the water and attacked one of the boats. They lost one. People had to quickly leave for the shore so as not to end up in the icy water. This sheep got stuck in a ditch. This boy came to the rescue. He barely managed to pull the sheep out, but the funniest thing happened next. The stupid sheep decided to run and fell into the same ditch, so they have to save it again. Yes, sheep very often behave inappropriately. This dog decided to jump on the yak and immediately paid for such stupidity. It immediately changed its mind about attacking. During a soccer match in Colombia, a stray dog ran onto the field. To continue the game, the player had no choice but to give it the ball. I'm sure that you will laugh for a very long time now. This dog just froze when it saw the Halloween decorations in the form of black cats around it. Even the dog's tail did not move at all, and it began to move only when its owners solved the issue.
Hey, it's okay, dude. Hey, come on.
This video captured the amazing moment when a Yorkshire Terrier jumped on the back of his friend, the Labrador Retriever, and thus safely swam across the pool. This man has been in the hospital for a long time. His dog missed him very much, but when he finally returned home, the pet did not recognize him. Fortunately, when the dog got a closer look at him, she jumped into his arms.
Where you being, Daddy? Where you being?
This man decided to test his dogs. He kissed them as usual and slammed the doors as if he had left home. Literally seconds later, his dogs came running to eat something from the refrigerator. On a palm plantation, employees were calmly doing their daily work when suddenly an angry elephant appeared out of nowhere. This crazy animal attacked a man who managed to dodge the attack at the last second and escape. The delivery guy was very lucky to escape in time, and I think he didn't even realize that he could jump that high over fences. To get to the deliciously sweet Fanta, these bees decided to act together. Incredibly, but they managed to unscrew the lid. If the cat is too fat, very funny situations can arise when trying to climb through the fence. This poor guy got its paw caught between two wooden sections, and the owner had to save it. The duck found a big nest and decided to lay a few eggs there. As it turned out later, it was a nest of storks, and when they returned from warm lands, they were unpleasantly surprised by an uninvited guest in their house. At the same time, the duck had nowhere to go, so it desperately defended its eggs and attacked the storks. Even when the duck flew away, the storks did not dare to occupy the nest, they did not even touch the eggs, and soon left the place. When people tried to save a baby elephant that had fallen into the pool, the elephant reacted to them as a threat. The mother rushed into the pool, and two guys barely managed to jump out of it. The elephant quickly found a way out, and the baby elephant successfully followed it up the stairs. While traveling in Thailand, this man caught a very unusual mammal. This is the first time I've seen it. It turned out that these were gliding lemurs or kagwangs. These gliding lemurs move slowly on the ground, but they are very well adapted to flying around. They cannot actively fly, but when jumping, the gliding range reaches 140 meters. A reporter from Australia became famous because she continued to work after being attacked by a bird 9 times. But in the end, Ursula Hager couldn't stand it and just started laughing.
That's so funny.
Reporter Brett McLeod was also shocked when a magpie flew right into his eye. The operator noticed this bear from afar because it climbed almost to the top of the tree and looked down in fright. What could scare the most formidable forest predator so much? Very soon, the situation became clear. There was a tiger roaming under the tree. Even bears are afraid of this predator. By flying your drone up to the alligator, you can get great shots, but this may be the last thing your drone will ever see. That's how a travel blogger from Florida decided to take a close-up shot of an alligator using her new drone, but the hungry predator had other plans. The alligator jumped out of the water and the drone ended up in its teeth. The most interesting thing happened next when it bit through the battery and smoke began to come out of its mouth. I think it'll have some stomach issues. The owner of the grocery store was very surprised when she discovered that one of the chicken eggs on her counter had already hatched. The chick was sitting in a freshly broken shell. The owner took the lucky creature home and decided to keep it as a pet. Now we have the hunt for an incredible bird. This is the honey buzzard, which has tracked down the nest of hornets and is going to attack it. The nest was destroyed and looted very quickly. Surprisingly, buzzards are not afraid of the bites of these insects, and they can generally get on beehives without any problems to eat all the most delicious things there. If a queen bee has landed on your car, be prepared that in a few minutes it will be completely covered with bees. The man did not react in time to this little thief, and it was too late then. When 2 dogs started a battle for food, the third one turned out to be the most cunning, which quickly began to fill its belly while its brothers were fighting. Watching his koi carp, this man definitely did not expect such a jump, but he reacted with lightning speed. Driving along a winter road, this man filmed a bear with 3 babies. Running along the road, the mother decided to attack the car to protect the kids. This angry dog decided to bark at passers-by through the drain hole of the balcony. With such a brave defender, the house is definitely under full and reliable protection. This man decided to kiss all his cats, but the last one turned out to be the most cunning. While cycling along the trail in British Columbia, a very unpleasant encounter occurred with a man. This small black bear almost ran into him, but immediately ran away scared. If you live in South Florida, running into 2 large alligators on a bike trail is a common thing. This man politely asked the alligators to make way for him. The guy decided to scare 2 little dogs barking at him, but they did not lose their heads and immediately called for help. Now these guys had to run away. This is the first time I've seen such an arrogant pigeon. It did everything possible to take a bite of a burger, but the woman never allowed it to do it. You should never leave your belongings unattended. Take a look at how a cow can steal the contents of a backpack left unattended. Random witnesses managed to film a tiger holding a cow by the throat right on the side of the road. It is clear that the cow's chances of escape are zero, so soon it just falls. Now we have another doggy who stole shoes right from the doorstep. After stealing one sneaker, it returned for the second, but this time it failed to escape unnoticed. When eagles catch their prey, they fly with it to the nest or somewhere on a branch to eat it in peace. But this one decided to swallow the fish right in flight. If one urinates on an electric fence, it can be very painful, and this dog has learned it very well. What a real master! No one knows how to pee on a fence like it does. This dog has obviously run a huge distance on the treadmill. I don't really know how this squirrel managed to get stuck in a wooden fence in such a way, but it looks unrealistically funny. However, it was saved. In this case, the girl calmly fed the fish and the turtle. Suddenly, this large predatory lizard approached her at full speed. The monitor lizard appeared out of nowhere and scared the girl very much. The lizard missed the first attempt as the fish literally jumped out of the water, but it didn't want to leave with an empty mouth, and at the right moment, it swallowed one of the fish. Just look at this cunning octopus. When on the sand, it disguises itself as local algae. Even from a short distance, it is very difficult to distinguish it. This cow gave birth to a calf. The owner noticed this and came there on his horse to put the baby on its feet and check if everything was in order. But a cow, like any mother, does not want to let anyone near the baby. Just look at how smart the horse is. At the command of the owner, it moved the cow away from the calf and allowed the owner to safely approach it. As you can see, the horse blocked and prevented all attempts of the cow to approach. The calf was finally able to stand on its feet and started walking. A tourist in Indonesia managed to film two very interesting fish that literally walked along the bottom, moving thanks to their fins. These unusual hairy frogfish are found in tropical waters. They know exactly how to disguise themselves so they can blend in with the coral environment. This woman accidentally dropped her sunglasses into an orangutan enclosure. The female living there immediately realized what to do with them and started trying them on. It seems that it really liked this accessory. A flock of 13 killer whales was spotted in Japan. As you can see, they were hiding and showing themselves between the ice plates. At first, environmentalists were worried about their safety since they needed to breathe air, and they could only rise to the surface at one point, but they managed to successfully get out of this ice trap. The next amazing scene was filmed in Brazil. This giant anteater came to the pond to drink water, but a jaguar approached it from behind. It is unclear what the jaguar was waiting for, but when the anteater saw the predator, it was not at all afraid. It only spread its tail even more to seem bigger and calmly left. The fish in the aquarium are sometimes like little children. He was so scared of the little dog that he broke the glass in the ice cream fridge. What a lovely thing. This brave raven decided to attack the wolf for some reason, but all it did was just scratch the butt of the animal. I think he deserves a 100% like for such bravery. Yes, it is very dangerous to approach deer when the rutting season is taking place. This impatient photographer got too close and the deer decided to attack him. The man was lucky that the deer stopped, otherwise it could have been very painful for him. Now let's take a look at this caterpillar with a very strange protective mechanism. To scare off predators, something unusual comes out of its antennae or horns. This is the first time I've seen such a creature. Here is a very funny case with cows, a herd of which crossed the road. The cows tried to jump over the road markings, and it looked very funny. This bird of prey drops the bones of animals from a great height so that they break on the rocks. When the bone splits, the bird gets access to the most delicious and nutritious bone marrow. This stupid snake needs to climb an electric fence at any cost, and this is despite several electric shocks. This case was filmed in Kenya. I don't know what the lioness was thinking about, but it decided to attack the leopard. It managed to approach it perfectly, but the attack clearly did not work. The leopard quickly disappeared into a tree. Now we have a case that just gives you goosebumps. This large white shark was caught on the drone's camera. It just swam and didn't touch anyone, but it was heading towards the bathing children. The predator swam up close, but it looked like the children didn't even notice it. They were looking at the drone and showing likes. They were lucky that the shark did not show interest, but simply swam right under them, turned around, and continued on its way. Have you ever seen how barnacles or acorn shells are removed in shipyards? This is the genus of barnacles from the suborder of acorn shells. Adults are characterized by an immobile lifestyle, attaching to hard surfaces. This is how in South Florida, employees perform the process of removing these crayfish when they completely cover the bottom of the boat. This crocodile was almost lucky. However, it did not manage to grab the prey flying over it. This cougar noticed a one-horned deer at night. It was shocked by such luck. The prey was right in front of it and had no chance to run away. The cougar attacks, knocks the wooden thing to the ground, and realizes that something has gone wrong. The puppy was stuck between two very narrow walls, and it couldn't get out on its own. All of the attempts of people to save it were also unsuccessful, so they had to break the wall. This bizarre sea creature with hundreds of moving tentacles confused the locals after it washed up on the beach. Such a mysterious marine species resembling a huge piece of seaweed has been found in southern Vietnam. It looks like a dark brown alien creature that wriggles and twists. What a scary thing! The swan decided that a sign with a warning about angry swans was definitely not needed here, otherwise no one would come to feed it. The next moment is from China. This wild boar crashed into a metal gate at full speed and demolished it completely. These cats seem to have just seen a crab for the first time. They just wonder what kind of creature it is, but they don't risk getting too close. I don't know what happened on this beach, but it's completely covered with purple sail jellyfish. I think they were all washed ashore during the storm. This tiger was definitely too slow. When a wild boar came out right in front of him, the tiger did not seem to expect such luck and lost such a perfect moment to attack. The next video is not about animals, but I decided to add it as well. This woman has captured a cloud floating over a hilltop in the northwest of England, and it looks amazing.
Cheese?
This group of swimmers from British Columbia encountered a flock of killer whales swimming a meter from the shores off the coast of Quadra Island. It is known that killer whales do not pay attention to bathers, but people were still asked to keep some distance. This moment was filmed in Gibraltar. A monkey jumped on a woman and took her bag away, hoping to find something delicious there. After receiving the desired trophy, the animal shakes everything out and checks all the contents, but seeing nothing edible, it simply throws out such an unnecessary bag. Two brave dogs met with a huge king cobra that slipped into their garden. The fearless defenders of the house barked to scare away the snake and even attacked and bit the tail, despite the fact that the cobra can kill them with one bite. The owners of the house called the emergency service so that they could catch the snake. This footage is quite shocking, but the reptile was successfully caught. It was over 4 meters long and weighed 14 kilograms. The dogs were not injured, and the cobra received 5 bites from them.